for Jammu and Kashmir. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, in an interview to a publication in J&K, said that the central government will consider revoking the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in the valley. Amit Shah also said that the government has plans to pull back troops from the Union territory and leave law and order to the Jammu and Kashmir police alone.
1947 के बाद जम्मू कश्मीर को जख्म देने का काम कांग्रेस ने किया। जब आर्टिकल 370 और 35A को लागू किया, नक्सलवाद बढ़ा, अलगाववाद बढ़ा और यहाँ पर 45,000 से ज़्यादा लोगों की मृत्यु हुई। अनुच्छेद 370-35A को हटाकर नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जम्मू कश्मीर में विकास के रास्तों को खोला है।
आर्म्ड फोर्सेस हैं या सुरक्षा बल हैं, उनको सभी को तभी हटाया जाना संभव था जबकि हालात सुधर जाएं। आज कश्मीर में स्थितियां बदली हैं और पत्थरबाजी, अलगाववाद, आतंकवाद, भ्रष्टाचार, इन सभी पर लगाम लगी है। तो स्वाभाविक बात है कि भारत सरकार सोचती है।
5 years on, normalcy is the new normal in Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir has seen a sea change after the repeal of Article 370. At the heart of its transformation lay a rigorous crackdown on terror funding. Kashmir also witnessed a sweeping altercation of its socio-economic landscape. The echoes of hartals and band calls have faded into history. AFSPA empowers armed forces personnel operating in disturbed areas with powers to search, arrest, and to open fire, deemed it necessary for the maintenance of public order. An area or district is notified as disturbed under the AFSPA to facilitate the operations of the armed forces. If removed, this will be a big step forward for Kashmir. However, for the opposition, it's a catch-22 situation.
जहां तक AFSPA को हटाने की बात है, बिस्मिल्लाह करके आज ही शुरू करिए। जब कहते हैं कि हालात बिल्कुल नॉर्मल हैं, जब कहते हैं कि मिलिटेंसी खत्म हो चुकी है, जब कहते हैं कि अब अलायगी पसंद सोच रही नहीं और जम्मू कश्मीर के हालात इससे ज़्यादा बेहतर कभी थे नहीं, तो इंतज़ार किस चीज़ का? पहले ही कर देना था।
गवर्नमेंट खुद कह रही है कि सब कुछ ठीक है, तो जब सब कुछ ठीक है तो फिर सोचना क्या है, हटा दो।
नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस मानती है कि जो पीस है वो प्रिवेल हुई है।
पीस गवर्नमेंट के नज़र में है, हम अपने हिसाब से देख रहे हैं कि वो जिस तरह लोगों को पीस लगता है वो है नहीं, लेकिन अगर वो समझते हैं कि इसको हटाया जाना चाहिए तो एक गवर्नमेंट के लोगों के हित की बात है, इसे हटा देना चाहिए।
Don't take it seriously. What Mr. Amit Shah is saying is not a serious thing, and just he thinks by making such statements he can deceive the people of Jammu and Kashmir. He can hoodwink the people of Jammu and Kashmir at the time of elections. That is what I point out. Mr. Amit Shah is not sincere. Home Minister, this Union government headed by Mr. Modi is not sincere, honest to the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
Jammu and Kashmir's historic journey has ushered in a new chapter in the valley's narrative. And if AFSPA is removed, it will only act as a catalyst to the development in the valley. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Well, there was a point in time, ladies and gentlemen, that almost every week there were hartals, bands that were called by the separatist groups. That has completely changed. You speak to any Kashmiri, they will be telling you the fact that their children are now being able to at least go to school. Joining us on this broadcast is the former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, SP Vaid, who's actually seen that very period when it was absolutely very, very difficult. Over to you, Gursimran, as you take this quick question with Dr. SP Vaid about what really has changed.
Yes, Shavan, Dr. SP Vaid has seen this very closely in 2016 when he was the DGP of Jammu and Kashmir Police. Dr. Vaid, you have seen the situation and now the change that has taken place. Union Home Minister has said that the government will be reviewing the AFSPA. How do you see this step?
I think this is a very welcome announcement by the Honorable Home Minister, and people of Jammu and Kashmir will welcome it. And a beginning can be made for a phased withdrawal of AFSPA from certain areas which have not seen terrorist incident for quite some time. You can, for example, Jammu region. There are districts like Kathua, Samba, Jammu, Udhampur. I think it's high time that these districts, the AFPSA is withdrawn, and some of the deployments are also reviewed, which Honorable Home Minister hinted. And I think it's a welcome move of the government, and people of J&K would be looking for this. In fact, most of the political parties have been demanding phased manner withdrawal. But one point of caution which I would like to mention is J&K is a border state. Pakistan is down, but the deep state of Pakistan, there is no change of intentions. So we have to be very, very careful while taking such a decision.
So Shravan, Dr. Vaid saying that with caution, this is one of the steps that everyone is welcoming as this moves. It tells that the security apparatus has changed on ground. The situation has changed towards the peace, and it is the high time that there should be a phased withdrawal of the AFSPA. Shravan.
Well, as I've been saying, that the Gupkar parties certainly find themselves in a catch-22 situation, because all this while they've been demanding that AFSPA should be removed because it's draconian in nature. If they actually welcome this very move that has been made by the government, then there is also an acceptance from their part that things have actually changed in Kashmir, something that they've been completely shying away. This is the question that was asked to Mehbooba Mufti's daughter by my colleague Zeenat. Listen in to what she had to say.
Well, as far as PDP and Miss Mufti is concerned, we've always stood for revocation of AFSPA, you know. And whenever she spoke about it, she was derided as an anti-national, and we welcome this move. But having said that, the proof of the pudding lies in the eating. So what our apprehension is, like everything else, जैसे जुमलेबाजी करते हैं खास तौर से इलेक्शन से बिल्कुल पहले, you know, in the months leading up to the elections, this feels just like an empty slogan. And if the Home Minister indeed wants to follow this up, he should start by releasing journalists. There's so many journalists who are currently behind bars, thousands of young boys. I believe in the same interview, he spoke about how, the government of India wants to engage with young Kashmiri men. Well, he should know that the Home Ministry has, because of its PSA orders, it has slapped so many Kashmiri young boys जो अभी जेल में सड़ रहे हैं under UAPA, under PSA. तो आप अच्छी शुरुआत तो आप कह रहे हैं आप करेंगे, तो let's start by releasing them. They're not there under any solid grounds. They're under trials, and bail should be the norm. It should be the rule, not the exception. But we definitely welcome this view with this, whatever he said, his statement. And PDP has always stood for revocation, of AFSPA and the gradual withdrawal of army from civilian areas in Kashmir. Even during Mufti Saab's last tenure, when we lost him, unfortunately, in 2016, he worked for Tattu ground, for the army to vacate that ground so that it could be transformed into a public park, into a public space. So we welcome this move, but we fear, our apprehension is that it is just that, it's a jumla. जैसे हम 15 लाख आपके अकाउंट में डालेंगे इलेक्शन से पहले, हम ये अजीब जुमले सुनते हैं. So let's see, let them walk the talk and then we'll see.
This was also one of the basis of your alliance, PDP's alliance with BJP, when the alliance was stitched, as far as the AFSPA was one of the points raised by Ms. Mufti.
Which they also agreed upon.
Yeah.
Let it be very clear that in our agenda of alliance, the BJP agreed, to the revocation of AFSPA. But see, Zeenat, that's exactly what I'm saying. When it comes to, saying things, they make all these tall claims and they build these sand castles in the air. But when it comes to implementation and execution, it's not there. It's lacking. And abhi they understand कि हाँ elections चल रहे हैं, BJP की हालत जम्मू हो या कश्मीर हो या लद्दाख हो, they are not looking good. They don't look very strong electorally. So this could just be a way to mobilize public opinion towards, themselves.
Do you think it is an again election move?
Well, you tell me, what is their record so far? They never walk the talk. They never walk the talk. And we've seen how people were lured by the false promises कि आपके बैंक अकाउंट में हम 15 लाख डालेंगे, 2 करोड़ and all that. But where is that? That has never been. But I welcome the Home Minister saying this, because of course it could mean that he realizes the sensitivity, that this is a huge nuisance for people here, because let's not forget, AFSPA is a
Let me also get in a quick response from what ordinary Kashmiris have to say about this indication that has come in from the government, because this has a direct impact on the people on the ground. A quick response coming in from my colleague Arawat, who's speaking to local Kashmiris on this decision that perhaps could change the lives of Kashmiris.
Yeah, Sean, absolutely. People here of Jammu and Kashmir have welcomed the statement that was given by the Amit Shah. In fact, I have with me the famous educationist from the Kashmir Valley, Uwasnanda. क्या कहेंगे इस पर आप जो अमित शाह की तरफ से statement आया?
Yeah, the statement by Home Minister is quite warming. We have been saying that there is normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir, which there is. And withdrawal of AFSPA is a big thing, it's a big deal. Because we have been always bashing the government that if there is normalcy, why are you not revoking AFSPA? So here it is. Here it's knocking on your door that we're about to remove the AFSPA. And also, it also sends a signal internationally, not only nationally and locally, but also internationally, that things are hunky-dory here now. And also, if there is any semblance of anything, things are by and large getting better and better.
What's the big change that you are experiencing from after the abrogation of Article 370?
See, to be very honest, politics aside, there is a semblance of peace, and not just semblance, rather a chunk of peace has prevailed after the abrogation of Article 370. And also, you will see, as you know, I'm an educationist, the schools have been continuously functioning, the colleges, the universities have been continuously functioning, the businesses have been continuously functioning. There are no hartals nowadays, there are no shutdowns, there is no bloodshed. So therefore, of course, there are always lacunas in a democracy as big as ours. The lacuna will remain. But I think this is a very good first step, and we're here to only shine.
How the separatist groups and other will take this call about the AFSPA?
Separatists, they're irrelevant.
So what will be your message for the public, as you can say, about this AFSPA?
Message to public or everybody, they have gotten the message. Once the Home Minister political stalwart, Home Minister is a political stalwart. Once he has said that we are considering and actually removing AFSPA from Kashmir, this is a big signal for positivity and progress.
Thank you very much. Back to Shavan.
Well, thank you very much, Arawat, for getting us voices of Kashmiris, as they say that separatists have become completely irrelevant, and that's the reality that we are focusing on. Should we focus now to the other story that we're getting you from the state of Karnataka, where Congress is struggling to fend off a rebellion and infighting that's continuing in Karnataka after accusations of dynastic politics. Utter chaos prevailed in Kolar particularly, where multiple Congress legislators and MLCs decided to submit their resignation after the party high command reportedly decided to issue a ticket to a veteran Congress leader K.H. Muniappa's second son-in-law to contest from the Kolar Lok Sabha constituency. Listen to some of the reactions that are now coming in and a ground report from Karnataka.
Now we are seeing that there is an open rebellion against you. Why is this the cause? We are seeing a minister, Mr. M.C. Sudhakar. What exactly has happened?
Did you talk to him?
Yes, I did speak to him.
What he said?
He stated that we are against...
No, he is going to resign.
He told that we will resign if a ticket is being given to us.
He told you?
Yes, he did. Okay. But why is this...
I don't know. I don't know. I am a disciplined soldier of the party. If I am not correct, how the people is elect 7 times? Never in the history, except Jafar Sharif and Shekharana, that too in the difficult time, people have voted for me.
You know, is
whatever
this
it may be, the High Command will take a decision. We have pleaded, we have appealed to the High Command. Whatever they decide, accordingly will go.
On the other side, can India really play the role of a mediator between Ukraine and Russia? This as when Ukraine's foreign minister makes his first visit to India, expected to land in the national capital in the next 24 hours. On the other side, we get you that special report.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
डीएमके और कांग्रेस टू साइड्स ऑफ द सेम कॉइन है। डीएमके और कांग्रेस का मतलब है बिग करप्शन। डीएमके और कांग्रेस का मतलब है वन फैमिली रूल।
हिंदू धर्म में शक्ति शब्द होता है। हम शक्ति से लड़ रहे हैं, एक शक्ति से लड़ रहे हैं।
इंडिया अलायंस ने अपना घोषणा पत्र शक्ति को खत्म करने के लिए किया है। मैं इस चुनौती को स्वीकार करता हूं और मैं इन शक्ति स्वरूपा माताओं बहनों की रक्षा के लिए जान की बाजी लगा दूंगा।
Good evening and welcome viewers. The question I want to begin with tonight is whether all public servants in the country are equal or whether some public servants are more equal than others. And the reason I'm asking this is because Arvind Kejriwal holds the unusual distinction of being a serving chief minister operating from jail. Before joining politics, Arvind Kejriwal was in the Indian Revenue Service. And therefore he was subject to the All India Services Rules of 1969, ladies and gentlemen, these rules. Now, under these rules, any public servant who is a member of a government service cannot operate from jail. In fact, anyone in custody who is in custody for a period of 48 hours, and now it's been longer than 48 hours that Kejriwal has been in custody, any public servant is necessarily and as a matter of routine suspended from service. Also, as per the All India Services Rules, any central government officer who faces a charge which is, quote, likely to embarrass him in the discharge of his duties or involves an aspect of moral turpitude, unquote, will be
Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmitry Kuleba is set to visit India for the first time. Kuleba took office in 2020 and this happens to be his first visit to India since the start of the war in Ukraine back in 2022. On top of the Ukrainian Foreign Minister's agenda is going to be lobbying for support from India in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine and whether at all India could play the role of a mediator. While India has provided humanitarian assistance to Ukraine, India largely has maintained a neutral position on the conflict, one that promotes dialogue and diplomacy as the only way forward. But the Ukrainian Foreign Minister has one thing at the top of his agenda: to seek India's participation in the upcoming peace summit in Switzerland that's expected to be sometime in the summer. Will he be able to achieve his goal? Russia has clearly stated that no peace summit will ever be successful without the participation of the Russians. Take a look at this report as the Foreign Minister is expected to land in New Delhi in the next 24 hours.
Days after Prime Minister Modi dialed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba is all set to make his first visit to India. This is the first time the Ukrainian Foreign Minister will visit India since the start of the Russia-Ukraine war.
Standing here in Kiev, in front of Mahatma Gandhi's monument, I'm pleased to announce that this week I will pay my first ever visit to India. A few days ago, President Zelensky spoke with Prime Minister Modi. My visit will further strengthen our relations. Ukraine and India are two big democracies. I'm certain we are set to be good partners and friends.
The visit of the Ukrainian Foreign Minister comes after President Zelensky extended an invitation to Prime Minister Modi to visit to Ukraine later this year. The Ukrainian Foreign Minister is expected to hold high-level dialogues with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. On the top of Ukraine's agenda is going to be lobbying for India's support for the upcoming peace summit scheduled to be held later this summer in Switzerland. The peace summit is expected to build on the 10-point peace formula of President Zelensky that seeks complete withdrawal of Russian troops, release of prisoners of war, and a formal confirmation of the end of the war, among other things. India has so far not announced its participation in the summit, as the dates are expected to coincide with Lok Sabha elections. Dozens of meetings have been held so far on the peace formula proposed by President Zelensky. However, no solution acceptable to both parties has come out of these dialogues so far. India has maintained its neutral position that dialogue and diplomacy are the only way forward in this crisis, reiterating Prime Minister Modi's remarks to Russian President Putin, "This is not an era of war." Will Ukrainian Foreign Minister's trip create a breakthrough in Ukraine-India relations that can aid the peace effort in Russia-Ukraine war? And will India participate in the peace summit remains to be seen. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
That's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. On the other side, big setback for Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav opts out of the poll race. All this and much more on the other side with my colleague Rakshita.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. Now, the thing about sexism, like corruption, is that there are no grays. You cannot come out with a haphazard excuse to defend a publicly made disgusting sexist remark about a woman and then slither away and endorse it through collective silence. Ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what the Vadra Congress and the Vadra Gandhi family seem to be doing. For decades, the Congress party has tried to own the space of women in politics, presented and positioned themselves politically as the owners and beacons of hope for women in Indian politics just because Indira Gandhi became Prime Minister and Sonia Gandhi became Congress President. So they said, because people from the Vadra Gandhi family and women from the Vadra Gandhi family have reached certain positions because of their family name, women of India have become empowered. Ridiculous. Now that very party is essentially shrugging its shoulders when its own spokesperson Supriya Shrinate has essentially said that Kangana Ranaut's Lok Sabha ticket is a byproduct of a prevailing rate card. The reference should be lost on no one, ladies and gentlemen. The disdain for an outsider who has earned a name for herself and is ready to slug it out in a political career from the ground is not something I expect Priyanka Vadra and Rahul Gandhi to understand, because Kangana neither has the luxury of being gifted constituencies as heirlooms, nor is she handed the purse strings of a political party by way of following a certain bloodline. So irrespective of the political eventually, what shines through today is the Congress-led endorsement of Supriya Shrinate's comment. Viewers, the most important thing is that the Congress party is endorsing the disgusting comment of Supriya Shrinate. Not one tweet, not one statement, not even a line. Ladies and gentlemen, the same silence that they had when Sanjay Nirupam attacked Smriti Irani. You almost begin to believe the Congress party is enjoying this disgusting sexist attack on women achievers from its political opponents. So I believe, therefore, that the lack of a response single-handedly tells you of the scale of indifference.
Very good evening. evening, viewers. We are live in Breaking Republic TV, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you this Wednesday evening. Let's get started with all the top stories making headlines. Home Minister Amit Shah hints at revoking the AFSPA, says the centre trusts Jammu and Kashmir police to handle law and order issues. Big setback for Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav opts out of the poll race. Election Commission of India issues show cause notice to Supriya Shinath for her sexist slur on Kangana Ranaut. Congress sitting MP Pratibha Singh bows out, exits Mandi days after Kangana enters the battlefield. After Rekha Patra, Krishnanagar candidate Amrita Roy gets Prime Minister's call. Prime Minister tells her all black money seized by the ED will come back to the poor of Bengal. Now, we're getting in news from Himachal Pradesh, where Congress's Pratibha Singh has now opted out of the Lok Sabha race, and she will not be contesting from Mandi seat. Remember, this has been a stronghold of the royal family. Her husband, the late Veerbhadra Singh, who was the chief minister also of Himachal Pradesh, it was the stronghold, and there were reports, will Pratibha Singh contest from Mandi or not? But after the BJP's announcement that Kangana Ranaut will be contesting from Mandi, Pratibha Singh was asked, will she be the Congress candidate? But now she has made it clear that she will not be contesting from Mandi. Let's take a listen in.
मंडी से क्या आप खड़े होंगे? आप मंडी से खड़े होंगे? Are you open to contesting against Kangana Ranaut?
बिल्कुल नहीं, मैंने हाई कमांड को अपनी बात बोल दी है। हाई कमांड क्या फैसला करती है वो उस पे अब निर्भर करता है।
पर कंगना को कितनी बड़ी चुनौती मानती है?
अब मुझे क्या पूछना, वो तो बीजेपी के कैंडिडेट है, बीजेपी ने उनको फील्ड में उतारा है। ठीक है, जो भी होगा सामना करेंगे, इलेक्शन लड़ेंगे और लड़वाएंगे और कांग्रेस को जितवाएंगे।
मैम, एक सवाल पूछना चाहेंगे कि हिमाचल में जिस तरह से हो रहा है, उसी तर्ज पे पंजाब में भी देखा जा रहा है कि कांग्रेस के या एक्स कांग्रेस के कई नेता हैं जो बीजेपी में लगातार शामिल हो रहे थे। ये क्या दर्शाता है?
अब इस पे सोच करना पड़ेगा और मंथन करना पड़ेगा, और हम चाहेंगे कि जिनकी विचारधारा उनसे मिलती है, ठीक है, उनको वहाँ ठीक लगा तो हम भी तलाश करेंगे कि अच्छा कोई नेता।
All right, we have a big update coming in from the Delhi High Court. There's no relief, no interim relief for us. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, as the Delhi High Court issued notice on his plea challenging his arrest and ED remand, as well as on the interim relief plea. The matter is now going to be heard on the 3rd of April. So no relief, no interim relief for Arvind Kejriwal. He continues to be with the ED, and that is the big update we have right now. Justice Swarnikant Sharma gave ED time till the 2nd of April to file reply to Kejriwal's interim plea seeking the release from ED custody. And 3rd of April is when the matter will be heard next. ED has been asked to file a reply by the 2nd of April. And that is the big update we are getting in right now as far as Arvind Kejriwal's plea challenging his arrest and the ED remand is concerned. A big update coming in. Delhi High Court has pronounced the order, and what we are getting to know is that there is no relief. Relief denied for Arvind Kejriwal. Remember, this is in connection with the money laundering case linked to the alleged excise policy scam in Delhi, the liquor gate in Delhi. And Arvind Kejriwal's petition sought immediate release on account of the arrest and subsequent remand to the ED, called it illegal. And now Justice Swarnikant Sharma has pronounced the order, and no interim relief for Arvind Kejriwal. And this is the big update we have right now. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal is in 6-day ED custody. The custody ends tomorrow as far as the earlier order is concerned. And now what we understand is that the ED is seeking more time to submit the response, and ED also wants an extended custody. But what we know is that the court has not provided any interim relief to Arvind Kejriwal, asking the ED to file its reply by the 2nd of April. Senior editor Shravan Sen joins us on the broadcast from Shravan. Trouble for Arvind Kejriwal. What we are understanding, ED will file a reply by 2nd of April. No interim relief for Delhi Chief Minister.
Well, in fact, this is what Arvind Kejriwal was hoping, that there would be an interim relief given the fact that his custody comes to an end tomorrow. Just to explain this, the custody is with regards to the Enforcement Directorate. In all likelihood, tomorrow, the Enforcement Directorate will seek further custody of Chief Minister of Arvind Kejriwal. Reason being that the case is still being investigated. Now, in this order that has been passed by the Delhi High Court, the Delhi High Court also emphasizes on 2 points: that the investigation is still underway, but they have taken into consideration the arguments that have been put forth by Arvind Kejriwal's legal counsel, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who's largely argued the fact that can you really rely on witness statements? That's point number one. Point number two, that is this politically motivated? These are the two aspects that were covered by Abhishek Manu Singhvi in the arguments that were put forth. The Enforcement Directorate has also now been given time to respond by about 2nd of April. We'll also put out the details of the order that has been uploaded a short while back, and quickly recap for all our viewers who are tuning in right now that Arvind Kejriwal hasn't been granted interim relief. What does this mean? This means that tomorrow Arvind Kejriwal will be produced before the court in Rouse Avenue Court by the Enforcement Directorate. In all likelihood, the Enforcement Directorate will seek further custody, hoping that their full term of custody gets over. Once that is over, there could be another development with regards to the Central Bureau of Investigation. That's the other agency that's coming in. And till the time he's sent into judicial custody, it's very unlikely that bail plea would be moved. So right now, this was another legal provision. We'll try and see if we can just put out that court order that has been uploaded a short while back, which goes into details of what we are given to understand. Let's just quickly take you through some of the details of this order that has come in. Now, clearly looking into this is the end where they have sought for a response from the Enforcement Directorate, that the Enforcement Directorate will be filing its replies as far as the main petition of the application for interim relief by the 2nd of April. Copies are to be provided. We'll also take you through some other pointers as we just go into a few other details of it with regards to what has happened so far. It's important to point out here a quick response that has come in from the Aam Aadmi Party a short while back. They basically called this arrest by the Enforcement Directorate as political in nature because of the timing. And that was also argued in the Delhi High Court today as to what was the need of the arrest. That's the crux of the argument that has been put forth by Abhishek Manu Singhvi, saying that he has been cooperating, and more importantly, as far as the investigation goes, no recovery has been made. What about the money trail? Abhishek Manu Singhvi in the court has argued that they have not been able to link the money trail to Arvind Kejriwal. That is the reason why Abhishek Manu Singhvi calls it an illegal arrest that has been made by the Enforcement Directorate. So it has been a vociferous argument that has been put forth by Abhishek Manu Singhvi at this stage. But remember, the court has basically relied upon two aspects. One, that the matter is sub judice. The investigation is at a preliminary stage vis-a-vis Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who's been just taken into custody. His first custody has not got over, and the very fact that it is expected that he will be produced before a lower court tomorrow in the national capital sometime in the afternoon. So that has also been taken into consideration. But importantly, it does mean right now there is no relief for Arvind Kejriwal. He will be in the custody of Enforcement Directorate, and if at all tomorrow the Enforcement Directorate is in a position to provide more information with regards to the investigation that has been carried out, and they are in a position to satisfy the court that they need further extension of Arvind Kejriwal's custody. If at all they can satisfy the court that the matter is still being investigated, there are other few things that needs to be looked into. For instance, they are currently looking into two aspects. Their investigation has gone into details of the role of the Chief Minister in the excise policy formulation. They've also gone into details with regards to whether at all there were meetings that were called by the Chief Minister at his residence where a draft of the excise policy was given to a private secretary of the former Deputy Chief Minister, Mandi Sisodia. These are certain areas that is being looked into. Now, as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, his legal counsel has gone into detailing of the fact that how exactly can the agency really rely on just witness statements. You're looking at a situation where the arrest of the Chief Minister has taken place based on simply witness statements, statements that have been given by people who were taken into custody by the Enforcement Directorate. Now that's where the argument has been hinging around. As far as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned, the reply is certainly awaited. That would be a detailed reply would be filed by the Enforcement Directorate on 2nd of April.
Right. Right, Shravan, in fact, stay with us. We also have Riyanka reporting from outside the Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court today, Riyanka, has given a deadline to the ED to file a reply in this case by the 2nd of April, and no interim relief for Arvind Kejriwal. Tell us more about the order that has been right now pronounced by the High Court.
Absolutely. We were all waiting for this order and finally we have it. We also have the access to the order copy that was in fact uploaded. But what we see, this is another setback coming for Arvind Kejriwal, who is the Chief Minister of the National Capital. But what we see here, that no interim relief for Arvind Kejriwal from the Delhi High Court. He had in fact sought urgent hearing. There also there was a setback, and today as well the court has in fact given no interim relief to Arvind Kejriwal, and the court is of the opinion that the respondent, that is the Enforcement Directorate, has to be given the opportunity to file a reply. So the Enforcement Directorate will have to file a reply on Arvind Kejriwal's bail plea by the 2nd of April. That is the date given by the Delhi High Court, and on the 3rd of April this matter will once again be taken up by the Delhi High Court, and on that day we will understand whether Arvind Kejriwal will be given an interim relief. What we see at this point in time, let me read out the order. The court says that it deems it appropriate to issue notice of the main writ petition as well as the application for grant of interim relief, which will be taken up on the 3rd of April. The court is of the opinion that it wants to hear what the other side, what the Enforcement Directorate comes out and says in terms of the entire matter, where Arvind Kejriwal has filed for an interim relief, an interim bail. But what we see here, that the court has given it to the Enforcement Directorate, that you take the time, file a response and come back on the 2nd of April, file the response, and the 3rd of April the matter will be once again taken up. Today what we see, how Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who was appearing for Arvind Kejriwal, had said that the entire arrest, the entire remand is illegal. This is what Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party has also gone ahead and maintained their stand. He has also brought up the fact that what was the need for the arrest at this point in time. In fact, the timing of the arrest is also quite significantly in focus, with the Aam Aadmi Party saying just before the Lok Sabha elections they have gone ahead and arrested Arvind Kejriwal at a time when he was cooperating with the central agency. And we also saw how Sunita Kejriwal also came up today and said that Arvind Kejriwal tomorrow at the Rouse Avenue Court, when he will appear before the court, he will give out certain statements in terms of where the money of the entire Ghotala is. So very significant developments now taking place, with the Delhi High Court now giving no relief for Arvind Kejriwal on the 3rd of April. That is the next month. We are expecting this case to be taken up once again till the 2nd of April. The Enforcement Directorate has gotten the time to file a response to the court in terms of the bail application that has been moved by the Delhi Chief Minister.
Right, Priyanka. In fact, we still have Shravan with us. I'll go back to Shravan. Now, Shravan, you were mentioning that the ED plans to seek more custody, further custody as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned. Also, all right, I'm told that Shravan is not there with us, but we will continue to keep a track of all developments there as far as the Arvind Kejriwal's custody is concerned. Remember, the court has denied any relief, any interim relief to the Delhi Chief Minister. Remember, he continues to function from inside the jail. I believe Riyanka is still with me, if I could be informed on that. Riyanka continues to be with us, all right, from outside the Delhi High Court. And Riyanka, there is, as Shravan was telling us earlier, that there could be, ED seeking a further custody for Arvind Kejriwal. So, because this matter is still under investigation, and there is also a CBI angle. The CBI is also preparing to seek custody. So the trouble is not going to go away any soon for the Delhi Chief Minister, who right now claims that he is still, at least his party men claim that he is still functioning from the lockup.
Absolutely. What we know that the Enforcement Directorate right now is neck deep into the investigation in the entire Delhi excise policy case. And with Arvind Kejriwal's ED remand ending tomorrow, we are going to expect that ED will, of course, look for an extension of his remand. Now, coming up to the CBI angle into this, the CBI is also getting prepped up to take Arvind Kejriwal's custody once the ED case gets over. But what we see, there could be an overlap of both the central agencies coming forward and building a harsh case on Arvind Kejriwal. So it is going to be really interesting to see that how much heat goes on to the Delhi Chief Minister at this point in time, given the Lok Sabha elections are, of course, quite near. And at this point in time, the Delhi Chief Minister being arrested in the Delhi liquor case is a major, major setback for the Aam Aadmi Party. Let me read out a little bit of what the court has, in fact, given out in its order. The court has said that while hearing and deciding a case is duty bound to hear both sides fairly, keeping in mind the principle of natural justice. So what majorly we saw during the hearing was Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who was appearing for Arvind Kejriwal. He said quite a few things. He put forward his statements, but what the counsel for the ED had gone ahead and said that they did not receive the bail application copy and at the right time, which is why they did not get time to file a response on this, which is why the court has taken that into consideration and given 2nd April as a time for the Enforcement Directorate to come out and file a response in terms of the bail application that has been moved by Arvind Kejriwal. Very significant here that on the 3rd of April, we will understand where this case goes in terms of the bail application. But tomorrow also is a big day because the ED custody of Kejriwal ends. The ED is in all likelihood is all set to seek an extension for 3 to 4 days, even more. We'll have to wait and see there what happens next into the entire matter. But what we know here that the Aam Aadmi Party leaders and the workers, they are in fact agitated into this entire scenario because they are saying the entire case is politically motivated. They have said this is a political vendetta right before the elections. But on the other hand, the BJP, which had of course taken out a counter protest, had said that Arvind Kejriwal must resign.
Absolutely. The legal battle is on, and so is the political face-off. But thank you so much for the moment, Riyanka, for joining us with those updates. We'll keep a track of all developments coming in as Arvind Kejriwal continues to be in ED custody. Tomorrow will be another important day. Right now, no interim relief from Delhi High Court to Arvind Kejriwal. And for a short break, viewers, on the other side, it's a big setback for Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. Akhilesh Yadav has opted out of the poll race.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
दुनिया की सबसे पुरानी भाषा तमिल भाषा हिंदुस्तान की है। मैं दुनिया को बताना चाहता हूं, सबसे पुरानी भाषा का गर्व प्राप्त है, वो मेरी तमिल भाषा है।
Tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space, and privacy while I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery.
Congress party is struggling to fend off a rebellion and infighting in Karnataka after accusations of dynastic politics. Utter chaos prevailed in Kolar. Multiple Congress legislators and MLCs decided to submit their resignation after the party high command reportedly decided to issue a ticket to veteran Congress leader K.H. Muniappa's second son-in-law, Chikkapedana, to contest from Kolar Lok Sabha constituency. And remember, after Congress leaders threatened to resign, the Congress High Command decided to put the Kolar seat on hold, and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has called for an emergency meeting at his residence at 8 p.m.
Now we are seeing that there is an open rebellion against you. Why is this the cause? We are seeing a minister, Mr. MC Sudhakar. What exactly has happened?
Did you talk to him?
Yes, I did speak to him.
What he said?
He stated that we are against...
No, he is going to resign.
He told that we will resign if a ticket is being given to us.
He told you?
Yes, he did. Okay. But why? Why is this...
I don't know. I don't know. I am a disciplined soldier of the party. If I am not correct, how the people is elected 7 times? Never in the history, except Jafar Sharif and Shekarana. That too in the difficult time. People have voted for me.
Is this
it may be, the High Command will take a decision. We have given we have pleaded, we have appealed to the High Command. Whatever they decide, accordingly will go.
More news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to commence his Lok Sabha campaign for Uttar Pradesh from Meerut on the 31st of March. This comes as BJP has fielded Ramayan actor Arun Govil from Meerut. Congress leader Sanjay Nirupam has voiced strong opposition against the Shiv Sena UBT's arbitrary candidate announcement in Mumbai's Lok Sabha seats, claiming it has upset both the Congress cadre and voters. Nirupam demands top leadership to take a stand against Shiv Sena's decision, citing concerns over candidate integrity. Speaking about his Lok Sabha candidacy, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari confidently asserted about his win in Nagpur, saying that he is 101% sure that people will support him. He adds that his aim will be to make Nagpur air and water pollution free and transform it to a green city. Ahead of the Lok Sabha polls, the second phase to file the nominations for the general elections will begin tomorrow. The Election Commission of India will issue the Gazette notification at 4 p.m. Rashtriya Shoshit Samaj Party leader Swami Prasad Maurya says that the opposition is determined to rout the BJP out of the centre in order to save the constitution and democracy. He said he will never think of an alliance with the BJP. And sources say MNSG Raj Thackeray is set to join the NDA fold today. He has been demanding 3 seats from the BJP. However, decision is set to be taken on 2 seats. Thackeray has asked for the South Mumbai seat. Time for a short break, viewers. On the other side, it's a big setback for Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav has opted out of poll race. All that and much more on the other side. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome, viewers. The question I want to begin with tonight is whether all public servants in the country are equal, or whether some public servants are more equal than others. And the reason I'm asking this is because Arvind Kejriwal holds the unusual distinction of being a serving chief minister operating from jail. Before joining politics, Arvind Kejriwal was in the Indian Revenue Service, and therefore he was subject to the All India Services Rules of 1969, ladies and gentlemen, these rules. Now, under these rules, any public servant who is a member of a government service cannot operate from jail. In fact, anyone in custody who is in custody for a period of 48 hours, and now it's been longer than 48 hours that Kejriwal has been in custody, any public servant is necessarily and as a matter of routine suspended from service. Also, as per the All India Services Rules, any central government officer who faces a charge which is, quote, likely to embarrass him in the discharge of his duties or involves an aspect of moral turpitude, unquote, will be suspended with immediate effect. Now, obviously, Liquorgate is not something to be proud of. It would embarrass Mr. Kejriwal. So this category also, there's a tick mark against Kejriwal. And what, therefore, the nation wants to know tonight is why are the rules different for a government officer who is a public servant vis-a-vis a politician who is a public servant? Why are the rules different for a civil servant officer, central government officer, as opposed to politicians who are ministers or chief ministers? This is exactly the kind of point Arvind Kejriwal used to make when he entered politics. He used to say the rules should be equal to all. All public servants are equal. Politicians cannot demand special status. Then why is he exploiting that special status now? How much has changed in 10 years, Mr. Kejriwal? The fact is, viewers, that a public servant cannot work after being arrested. In that case, how can a chief minister be expected to work after being arrested while in custody from jail? How is the job of a chief minister less important than that of a government officer under the All India rules? And if it is not, then how can a chief minister demand more leeway than a central government officer? Arvind Kejriwal entered politics on the central premise of morality. And I am asking tonight, where is the morality in giving yourself more leeway on issues of corruption than any central government officer? Think about it, viewers. This country can no longer operate in a way that politicians like Arvind Kejriwal say the rules are different for us because we are politicians. The queues will disappear because we are politicians. We can make ambulances wait because we are politicians, and we can operate from jail because we are politicians. This cannot and should not and will not be allowed.
President Moise spoke about relations with India because of my visit recently and the fact that I was able to meet the Prime Minister, have a few words with the Prime Minister, that we want to have close relations with India. A couple of resort business people told me that they
Good evening and welcome, friends. This is Wednesday edition of Biggest Story Tonight. The day began with Union Home Minister Amit Shah reiterating his promise for an election in Jammu and Kashmir for the Assembly, as also the possibility of early removal of AFSPA, which has been a bone of contention in the local politics there. They moved on with the Election Commission causing both the BJP and the Congress for the intemperate comments made by their leaders Dilip Ghosh and Supriya Srinath respectively against Mamata Banerjee in the case of BJP and against Kangana Ranaut in the case of the Congress party. And then of course we had that Congress showing nerves again with their Himachal President Pratibha Singh refusing to contest from the home bastion of Mandi against Kangana Ranaut. All that and more. Let's begin with the headlines first. Home Minister Amit Shah hints at revoking